Guys, remember when I tried on a whole bunch of my clothes for my closet to see what still fit me? I found a new category of clothing to wear. It's called clothing that I can only wear while I'm sitting down to film. Hello everyone, what is up? I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I am back and we are testing out a whole bunch of top-rated new makeup products that I have not tested before, and also very excited because today's video is sponsored by Aveeno for their sensitive skin face sunscreen. This is basically my go-to. I've talked about it in videos before. It is zinc based. It's not gonna irritate my skin as I've talked about before. Some just turn me into a lobster. I don't know what it is. And it has ingredients in there if you do have sensitive skin that is really good for it. So vitamin E, feverfew, oats. Aveeno. Aveeno loves the oats. It's non-comedogenic, oil-free, not gonna clog your pores. Great under the makeup. I applied mine this morning after all of my skincare, and what I do, this is my sneaky trick, is I combine it with a little bit of a liquid bronzer, and then I get that nice glowiness. I get the protection with the sunscreen. Sometimes, you know, if I'm in a rush, I'll just throw some foundation in there, make it like a little skin mocktail. If you've been on hunt for a good mineral sunscreen, I'm telling you, this one has been great. So now that I've given the sunscreen as well as all of the different skincare ingredients a minute to kind of like sink into my skin, now we'll zoom in and dive into the makeup. I'm just gonna get started with the brows. There's a new brow product I want to try from the drugstore, but I really tried to pick out some products. I'm just soaping my brows. You guys know the drill. And something I want to start doing a little bit more of is creating a more curated list of products that I'm wanting to like test out, because I feel like with the full face of new products, and don't get me wrong, I do love those videos too, I feel like sometimes it can be really overwhelming because there are so many different products and different products will react differently with other products. And for a first impression, I want to be able to give you guys the most information and the most in-depth review that I can. And I feel like having like 5 products that I feel are really good fit and products that I am really excited about is more helpful than having like 25 products all laid out in front of me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the more curated version, or do you like the big all over everything all at once kind of videos? Wow, all of a sudden all the rain came down out of the sky. Like everything. Can you guys hear that on camera? Probably not, but it's aggressive. I feel like my lights are going to go out. So the brow product I'm going to be testing out is by Essence. This is their Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil. I have 3 different shades here in front of me to kind of pick and choose what's going to work best for my brow shade. But this has a 1.5 millimeter tip, so super precise, and it's also supposed to be waterproof, so it's going to stay put all day. It has like a full on, I believe it was like 5 stars on this product. One person gave it a 4-star and everyone else 5. Now I will say one downside right off the bat, there are only 3 shades. So if you don't fit into this, you're out of luck. So hopefully one of these will fit. It's just like light, medium, dark. It is a very fine, very precise little tip, which is great. And this is like pretty inexpensive too. Under $4. I like it. Where's my little like handheld mirror here? Stuff taped to it. Cool, Rachel. Ooh, this one is like pigmented. So like I'm barely touching my skin and it's like bring, which, you know, isn't like a bad thing. I mean, you do want your product to show up, but I'm using a very light hand when I'm applying this right now. This seems to be a good shade match for me. By the way, this is the shade medium. Sometimes I forget to blink when I'm doing my brows and my contacts get really dry. Is that normal? I feel like that's not normal. Right, so far I have to say I really like it. I like how precise it is. I love how skinny the pencil is and how creamy it is. It is showing up very strong in my brows. So I am using a very light hand with it. But if you're okay with that and that works for you, like I like it. We're gonna see how long wearing it is, first of all. But so far from like an application standpoint, I like it. So let's move on to eyeshadow. And this is a palette that has recently come out from Urban Decay, and Urban Decay, they love the nude shadows. This is the Urban Decay Honey palette, and it is really highly rated. And I feel like when they first came out with all of their like naked palettes, everyone was freaking out and they were so popular and everyone was obsessed with them. And then they like launched a couple of other ones, and then people were like, meh, getting a little bit more picky. a little more particular. And then this one came out and it's like really, really highly rated. Have not tried it yet. It's been a minute since I've had like a naked palette in my hands. Ooh, this is what we got going right here. This is a very classic Urban Decay Nudes palette. It's a little bit warmer. I get where they're going with the golden honey undertones. I think from what I remember, people were kind of mad because there wasn't like a strong yellow shade. But this is honey. It's like supposed to be golden. I'm really obsessed with these 4 right here. Really these 5. These 6. You know what? All of it. So I do want to put some of these to the test. I am planning on doing like a relatively extravagant like liner look today. We'll see how that goes. So this will be a little bit more on the subdued side, but I want to see if it's going to get into my like everyday repertoire of neutral palettes. Will it make it in? I don't know. Just gonna prime my lids with my normal stuff. This is by Smashbox. This is their photo finish lid primer. I really should be using the one from Urban Decay, but it's not in front of me. So I want to stick these right onto the eyes. Let's go in with Swarm first. Get it? Be reference. And I just realized that I'm wearing yellow. It was not intentional, but maybe it was. I don't know. Ooh. Okay, now that's very subtle, but like, I'm liking this a lot so far. I know that's a lot to say when I just put like a dab of shadow on, but like, it's really nice. Mixing it a little bit with Sweet, which is right beside it, more of like a taupey brown, and just sort of like smudging it out from there. Then I'm gonna go in with a slightly smaller brush. I'm gonna go in with Hive, maybe a little drip. Kind of back and forth. These ones skew a little bit more cool tone, but they still have a bit of warmth to them. They're not too blue. This is a very pretty palette. Like it's very subtle, it's very neutral, but again, it's a naked palette. It's supposed to be. The shades all blend really well together, and I'm kind of drawn to the undertones that they chose for this particular palette. More so than any of the other ones in past, actually. Is this my new favorite naked palette? I think it might be. It just blends so like seamlessly. And the shades are very buildable for me. There is a good number of like lighter shades for me to use and like blend out well. Then I think I'm gonna take a mixture of amber and golden right here, and I'm just gonna like pop that onto the lid using my finger. Ooh. Linda, honey. Get it? Bee joke number 2. That's really pretty. That's really, really nice. It's so subtle, but like I really like it. So now that I have a base of eyeshadow on, I want to go in with this liner. This is by Huda Beauty, and this is their LifeLiner. It is a dual-ended liner stick. If I could get, oh right, it twists. So one end is a brush tip applicator for a liner, and then the other end is like a kohl liner. So I'm going to use both today because, you know, they're there. So I'm going to start with the kohl, and I saw this like really cool graphic liner look on the MAC website, so I think I'm going to try and like duplicate that today. So I'm going to start with the kohl on the lash, like on the tight line. And this liner is supposed to be smudge proof, fade proof, waterproof. It is very, very highly rated. Brand new launch for them. And that all sounds super promising, so I'm excited. So I just lined the tight line on the top, and now I'm going to go in with the brush tip applicator here. And I'm going to do more of like, we're going to start with the wing. See how that goes to start. Because I gotta say, I am not personally a big fan of brush tip applicators. I've always found them to be difficult to use, but I know that they've gotten a lot better over time, so I need to get over that. Okay, I'm struggling to get like a good flick going at the end. That's okay, that's what my Neutrogena makeup wipes are for. So I've done some liner, so you can see. Now I'm going to continue on with the kohl, like right underneath the lash line. It's gonna be too thick. We'll find out. Trying to like go as close to the lash line as possible. Okay, the kohl is getting like super messy. Hang on, let's switch to the other side. Pfft, looks ridiculous. Let's like clean this up a bit, see if I can save it. No, hang on. I don't like this. Give me a second. Okay, so completely dialed that back. But I do like the liner, having kind of played around with it a little bit and practicing with like the really small strokes and the more winged look. It is quite black. it goes on quite nicely. I do have to say for the kohl side, the plastic bit, like, I don't know if you can hear this. It like rattles around a lot, and that's a little annoying when you're trying to get like a precise line, because it like has to click against the plastic before it drags it across. I don't know. So that was one thing I didn't love. Obviously, if it's really long wearing and I don't end up with raccoon eyes, that'll be great. So now let's prime my face. Gonna use my Cover FX gripping primer, which is like my favorite now. All over, even underneath the eyes. Makes a huge difference. And then a new foundation for me. This is the MAC Studio Fix. This is their stick foundation. This is apparently gonna give a soft matte finish, medium level of coverage. Let's try it out. Actually, I should probably get a sponge first. I do need that. Where did all my sponges go? I swear I just had like 4 of them. Does this ever happen to anyone else? I feel like they just like completely disappear on me. So we're just dragging the product on. It takes some effort to get that on there. Probably because it is more of a matte finish, but I'm not used to it like taking its time. There we go. Beautiful. I feel like a flower. Now I'm going to attempt to pat this in, because I realize now that I used the gripping primer. Let's see how this goes. All right, layer number 2. Trying to get like around the nose and stuff, you know? Okay, it seems to be all like blended in now. I'm looking at it like with a really close-up mirror, which I know is not normal human behavior. No one looks at skin like this except for yourself. It's not my favorite as of right now. It definitely has more of a natural finish to it, but it's sort of highlighting the more porous areas I have on my skin. Yeah, I don't know. I've had better experiences with foundations. Now I'm gonna take a concealer foundation. This is the pure one, and I'm gonna use that underneath the eyes because I love it. Also, I feel like it's just really dark under there right now because of all the like erasing and adding and erasing I just did with all the liner. There we go. Look how pretty that is. Love it. Okay, now into my favorite trio. Bronze highlight. That's what I meant to say. Bronze highlight. I mean, really, that is exactly what I meant to say. Though I do love blush, what I literally meant to say. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It has been a day. So now I'm going to go straight in. Notice I have not set anything yet. I like to go in and just apply the powder products that I have, like the bronzers and the blushes and stuff, right on top once the foundation has had a chance to dry down. I find that way I'm using less powder because no one likes cake base. Oh, by the way, I'm using, didn't even tell you, this is the Jouer, the light to medium duo. I'm just kind of mixing the 2 colors together. Now just adding some blush, all of the blush. And then I basically only powder underneath the eyes basically. So over top of the pores and then right up underneath with any excess and like around the smile lines, and like that's pretty much it. Too much powder. It's not pretty on me. Oh, good thing I caught that. I have like a little streak of like mascara under my eyes. Almost set that in. There we go. That's better. We had a little bit of mascara underneath the eyes there. Now onto clutch and teeth for some highlight action. Because really, I never feel done unless I have highlight on. Like, do you guys have a step like that where you have like one specific thing that you need to do or it doesn't feel done? All right. Sufficiently glowy. Next up is another MAC product. This is a collaboration they did with a Korean woman named Park, also known as Pony. She's a makeup artist. She does a lot of tutorials online, but she has these products that are like matte lip mousses, and they sound really interesting. Just sort of a mixture of something that can be applied really subtly. You can build it up. It gives this nice like stained kind of effect to the lips, which sounds really cool. On the MAC website, they say it is a K-Beauty whipped lip color that hydrates, feels super lightweight, and leaves like a nice soft matte finish. And I believe it is supposed to be more of a like a subtle vibe. Like they look really intense, but I think once you apply them, they go on really soft. Let's start with Cordon Bleu, which is supposed to be a bright, warm pink, but in the photos, it looks very, very soft. That is really pretty. It definitely doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything on my lips at all right now, which is pretty cool. And the shade, like that is true to shade. That is a warm pink tone. Really, really pretty. Let's see what those like red colors look like. She has a bunch of reds in here. So this one is My Better Half, which is like a cool tone red. Very fall. How pretty is that? Oh, love me like a good like blurring matte tinty thing. I'm good at the makeups. That is a really gorgeous shade though. I really, really like that. I think that's the one I want to keep on. I'm just gonna add some more blush because of course I do. Never have enough on. All right, let's set using the Double Duty from Tarte. Basically empty the bottle there. I'm gonna add a little bit more highlight to my inner corner. I feel like that's missing. I use the color from the Honey palette here, right in the center. But now that we have it all on, I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. I will check in with you guys tonight. We'll see how everything is wearing and we'll see what my favorite is. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so it is now at the end of the day. This is what my makeup is now looking like. So let's discuss. First of all, the brows are still like in really good shape. They're still looking really good. They're still on, they haven't moved, as well as the liner hasn't budged at all. I would say that the kohl one did smudge a little bit in the inner corner, but you can still see it's like very, very black on the tight line. So it hasn't really budged there, which is great. I gotta say for the MAC foundation, like it was very medium coverage, but it's held up very well. It just wasn't my favorite finish. Just like on the forehead, you can see it's quite like dry looking there. For me at least, but in terms of longevity, it's held up like just very well for me. The lip product did wear and it did fade over time, but it felt like nothing on the lips. It was super easy to apply and I wouldn't have minded doing a touch up with it. It did get patchy in spots like throughout the day. And I also didn't want to put lip balm on top because I wanted to kind of test the longevity. So my lips were really dry. So there's that, but really, really pretty finish and something I would definitely use again. Let me know down below if there are any other like hyped products you guys are really interested in. Big thanks again to Aveeno for sponsoring this video, for collaborating with me, and check out these videos on the side in case you have missed any recently. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you all. Mwah.